What's going on, New York Ranger fans? My fellow Fugazis, how are we doing out there? I don't know if I'm gonna pick up on that Fugazi thing. Not yet. If he starts spazzing out again, these playoffs, then we might do it again. Um, Damn, we gotta restart that shit. Cause my neighbor right there, you look at him peeping through the door and shit. Cause it's like middle of the day. No Ranger game on right now. No sport games on. Full gear. Uh, Full gear looking crazy. Windows wide open. I got a big screen door right here on my balcony looking crazy. Because I saw him peep at me like, what's he doing inside with the hat on? You don't even know making moves, making ranger moves, yeah? Anyway, let's get back into it. Yo, great game last night from the New York Rangers. Uh, Highlighted players I want to talk about. Trocheck, awesome game. Goudreau, that whole line. Kreider. I mean, his goal was like accidental. Still a great goal though. But the rest of his play, great defense. I know he botched some stuff up again, but that's just hockey. Like Harper again. I know I talked about Harper in my last video. He had a missed opportunity where it turned he made a bad play with the puck, but then he also made great plays on defense. So this just happens. Hockey goes back and forth, but overall, solid ending, I will say, to the game. It was a close game. Vegas had their chances, obviously. Rangers came through and then took it away. You know, they came home with a nice win at home to start the 4 game home trip, and I really like what I see with these lines here. Besides, I mean, I like VC on the first VC. I like VC. I would love VC on the third line if Kreider could really get it together. And but Trocheck and Kreider, like, that might be some, maybe that's where we look to fill in, because VC on the fourth line, I don't know. VC's good. I think that hurts the first. That's not a solid. That's not a real playoff first line if you have to have a filler guy. I just want to have a solid first 2 lines of no. Oh, Goudreau is a good weapon because he can be anywhere. Yeah, that's fine for like injuries. You don't want that to be your guy though. Like Capo Caco's great. Like that's where like maybe we need to try Kraftsov again. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't see it in that kid, to be honest. Like he just seems like he's. It just seems like it's not the league for him. Maybe he'll go to the KHL and be phenomenal. He just seems too soft for this league. Like in the over there they might not hit as much, or it's not in as small rink. It's a different game. So I don't even think he's bad or anything. I just think he's not used to this kind of hockey maybe yet. That's why going to the AHL would have been solid, bro. Like you learn how to do that. But either way, that's not what we want to talk. We want to talk about a good solid hockey game. From mostly Trocheck. Trocheck, you know what's funny? I was tough on Trocheck early on, but I wasn't really sure why, and I was resenting more of the fact that he was playing number 2 center, because I really saw we all saw it, right? I'm not special. We all saw Hedel playing fantastic, and he continues to do that. Hedel is our number 2 center. Like, what are we talking about here? Let's give him those minutes. And I know we're kind of running a 2A and B here, but you need to give that kid line as much time as possible, especially if your third line are all vets. They're done. Trocheck is good. Like he Trocheck in the third line center role is really, really where I like him. And I know we paid a lot to have that, but when the kids are young, you're gonna bridge Laffy now too. So you're gonna have 3 of these kids on bridge deals. Then maybe it is smart to stack up on the 3. Hey, we have the money right now to sign these guys, and that's what Jury did. Look, I mean, Kreider was already signed, but Goudreau $4 million. That's a lot of money, right? At least $4 million. Trocheck $5 million, but it was like an insurance policy in case Hedel didn't make the jump. And if he does make the jump, that's not too much money. It's not a $7 million contract for a second line center. You can bring him down to the third line and let Hedel grow. So again, smart move. Looking at it now in hindsight, right? Good job, Jury. And that's what I like, because now you have 2, like, again, we have a shutdown D line that can score though with Trocheck. If you put Kreider or VC or Gaudreau, whatever hopefully Kreider can make the jump, or if you keep him down there and we use a rental. Not gonna open that up right now. But if whatever happens, you need that top right winger though to compete on that line, because Panarin and Zibanejad are good. They need that right winger. And I don't like the idea of breaking Capo up with I like him staying with the kids. That should be the line. There's no reason to ever, literally ever change that line. There's no reason to, unless they all have like hit a slump. Like, who knows? Like, in a couple of years, they're just so good for so they get tired. You got to break them up a little, whatever. But right now, there's no reason to break them up ever at all. And Zibanejad and Panarin, why not? If it works, they're both incredible. Let's see, like, give them more time to grow together. And if you give them someone solid who they can play with, that'd be great. And I liked what I saw from Cully. Cully, say correct me, whatever. I don't don't. It's not a disrespectful thing. I just don't know how to say people's names until I hear it. So, but he looked solid. Like the size, like the effort. Certain adjustments need to be made as his first game. But other than that, like just like one play I saw where he caused an offsides because he should have realized that like you don't have the speed. It's not the same game. Just hit it, dump it around because he would have got it before. I forget who it was, but he would have got it before anybody else. He beat them. He just didn't. He just needs to adjust to the speed. That's all. Like most young guys, and just change their game in those ways. But other than that, I think the kid has size and he knows how to use it, and I think that's going to be very very beneficial in the playoffs. Kravtsov lacks. He's tall, but he lacks that size. I like to see guys with size, even if they don't know how to score, because if they know how to use their size, they can still change the game like that. You know what I mean? If they can keep up with the pace. So even if but Will Cully if he can score, if he can pick up some whatever, I mean, he's just a solid addition to the fourth line. I think right now, like after seeing, because Vegas is a good team. It's not like we beat some scrub team. They're a solid team. So it was like a good uh, place to see where we're at, where these players are at. It's a good marker to line to judge against. So what else here? Halak. Oh my goodness. Man, and he's old and he's making saves like that. That he's all right by me. I thought New York was about to start. Like how we cheer Igor on. I thought Halak was gonna get his own cheer. You know what I'm saying? Like Halak, because we're in New York, so we got to add a little flavor to that. You know what I'm saying? Halak, because he really played a phenomenal game. I mean, that was outstanding. He stood on his head for us, made a tremendous saves, highlight reel saves for us. For a second, I was like, "Are you sure? Like, are you sure? Check under that mask. That might be Igor under that mask. They might have just switched out the jersey real quick, cause But nah, but he was, Thank you for that win, really, because you kept us in that when we were lacking on D, especially. Other than that, man, I think we played a really solid game, especially towards the end. Not really. I mean, sometimes your defense breaks down. You're going to give the other team chances. Your team is going to get chances. I just really like what I see from these lines. That's really, really what I want to talk about. And I'm really liking Trocheck. Man, that guy is a solid hockey player. He's physical on every play. And Gaudreau, oh my goodness, on that goal, when he took the body, like he decided to immediately take the body right away. Took that guy out of the play, and that created so much time for him to make that pass to Trocheck on that goal. But Trocheck was battling before that on both of the goals from that line. It was Trocheck battling before that, setting up the play, man. So I really he's grown on me a lot, man. I think that's the kind of play that's what we were lacking in the playoffs, and that's why, and one of the reasons Carolina was so good to play against, man. We got. I mean, Strome. I mean, as good as Strome was the year before with Panarin, almost a point per game and all that stuff, he really did not bring this much energy that Trocheck brings a whole different kind of energy, especially to that third line that Gaudreau can match up and and be that physical. Like we have that. We might even have something better than like that Tampa line that they had with Gaudreau and the Carolina line with Trocheck. We're taking like the best pieces from all these other teams, you know what I mean, and just created our own with our own little mix of Kreider there, scoring goals, whatever, It's just, I'm excited. Like I know right now we're in this day. The standings are meaningless to me. We're gonna get into the playoffs if we keep playing this way, and Boston. How many times have we seen the Capitals win the President's Trophy and be out in the first round? I'm not worried. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. I'm just saying I think we're building something here, and now it's time to develop and gel as much as we can with these lines, and let's get rolling here. Let's start dominating. Let's start carrying these win streaks on. Seriously, because guess what? We also, after all these players have finally got all these lines, first, second, third, except for that top right wing, I'm still a little iffy. But for right now, VZ's fine. For right now, let's figure it out. We have time, but we also have Igor. We also have Igor. So, regardless, and our defense is, I like our defense. I know Keandre Miller did the same thing last year where he kind of started out a little slow, and I was like, what's going on, man? Come on, what happened to that Keandre Miller? And then there he is, And I don't know why no one's talking about it, but he has a lot of points for such a young defenseman. I mean, he really is making a big jump, a big leap offensively this year. And I think that's just going to get started. I can't wait. I mean, this guy, you can see it's like, oh, yeah, you can definitely tell he was a forward, just how he skates sometimes. And like how on one of his goals, he leaned the body into, you know what I mean? He skates powerfully too when he does that. He can drive the net, and that's, it's just fun to watch, man. I just love hockey, I just love watching these players. And I love, because you really kind of like get to know players on how they skate, you know, and how they and how they see the ice, and it's interesting how like every different player sees the ice differently. So and you see it and you just become a fan of it, and that's really what this is. And so right now, obviously, Lafreniere rooting for him. Um, Kreider scored again accidental, but he played a solid game, and it was and a lot of goals from Kreider in front of the net on purpose or not. It's him being Kreider. You know, he had to be in the right spot for that. So other than that, man, I think that's it. So let's go Rangers. No quit in New York.